Hi everyone, welcome to Water Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie, and this is a replay sent to me from Beach Dasbro from ANZAF clan. And Beach Dasbro was platooning with just a few nights ago, and he seems like a hell of a nice guy. Always up for a good laugh, and we had a good gas bag and lots of beers while we were platooning. And he's driving his little RU251, the Tier 8 German light tank, one of my favourite light tanks in the game. I think in the right situation it's a hell of a lot better than the T54 lightweight. Even with clan wars and such, it's got a really good view range, a punchy little gun, and a pretty good camo rating from memory. Now he's flying on Abbey, and he's moved up to a position where he can spot the enemy tanks and be reasonably safe. He's in a Tier 9 game, and he's a Tier 8 light, and Tier 8 lights often do well against Tier 9 tanks, but there's only 3 Tier 9 tanks on each side. So it looks like he's got a couple of early spots, and he's moving around the Abbey just to try and spot for his team and maybe even do a little bit of early damage. Now this is the first time, as I'm recording, this is the first time I've seen this game. Normally I watch the replay before I record it, but when I saw the result, I thought this is going to be an epic game. Without giving too much away, he carries pretty hard. Early shot on the Panther, he tracks him. Be nice if somebody shot him. Looks like the Panther's just ignoring the RU251. So Beached is just going to make the most of it and get some early damage. He's already picked up nearly 500 damage. And unfortunate not to be able to get a third shot on there, but looks like the Panther's moving up again. And single-handedly, Beached has taken this Panther down from 1,300 hit points to 81. But there's not many tanks going down the waterline where the Panther was just spotted by Beached as. And I guess he's a little bit worried that those other tanks might come up and try and get rid of him. There's the ISU, which won't have as good view as Beached light tank. Lucky not to shoot the back of that 4202 when he shot the T20, but the T20 is now one shot, so Beached was looking for the kill, but unlucky on that situation not to get the kill, but he looks like he got the spotting damage for it. So at 2 apiece, Beached is hanging on to the Abbey in the middle of the map. But he's just seen that E75 come up, and the E75 is probably not a tank that he wants to go head to head with, at least frontally. Now Beach is looking back onto his cap. Looks like the Bulldog might spot something here, so he's aiming, probably trying to get some shots into the M4A1, the Tier 8 French premium tank. And it looks like the Super Pershing's also gone up towards the green flag. Winning 4-3, but it's still very early days. Beached is hoping that Type 62 is distracted. It looks like he is, so he's going to put a shot into the back of his head. Execution style. And there's that ISU again. Takes another 200 hit points out of that ISU. Doing some really handy sniping here, just chipping away at the enemy, trying to bring their health down. He's moving back into those buildings so that other tanks have got less of a chance to hit him. Unlucky not to hit that Rev, the M4, but now he's going to put some damage into him. You can see he's nearly out of regular ammunition, but he's also running chocolate, which is going to help not only his camouflage rating but also his view range, his rate of fire and his reload time and aim time. Now the E75 is coming up into the Abbey to do a bit of damage, so he switches to premium ammunition, and that T25-2's in a world of trouble sitting there. Bounces a shot, didn't quite have the angle on that E75, and something needs to happen here, because once that E75 pushes into the Abbey, Beached as well as that 4202, the British premium tank, is going to be in a bit of strife. Still looking for the sniping shots onto that Super Pershing. He probably doesn't need to do that because his Super Pershing's on a lot more health than the enemy Super Pershing, but putting a shot into the back of it is certainly going to help get rid of him. Now it looks like the E75 has been set on fire. It looks like he's still burning. It's just stopped burning, so Beach Daz puts another shot into him, and you can see he's got enemy tanks approaching his green flag, and it looks like that AMX 1390 is reloading, so Beach Daz is putting a few shots into him. As he chases him, you can see he's done over 3,000 damage on the damage counter. And now he's trying to keep that 1390 lit, as well as finally get rid of that Panther, the first tank that he kills. It's also the first tank that he was shooting at early on in the game. A lot happening on the map. You can see a lot of Beach Daz teammates are going back to their flag to try and get rid of those enemy tanks. Winning 9-7, but it's certainly not over yet. 3,500 damage. Now that 1390, very good chance he's already reloaded, so Beach Daz wants to make sure he gets rid of him before he can just chip away at his health. Now the 1390 is only on 58 hit points now, and the 1390 is the tank that's lighting him up for the enemy tanks. Beach Daz 1375 on his team is sitting on the enemy flag, which will be putting a bit of pressure on them. He gets another cheeky shot into that M4A1 Rev French tank. And another one. One more shot should do the job, if you can keep him lit. Oh, that's HE. If that wasn't HE, he would have killed him with that shot. 9-8. He's having a massive game here. He's done over 4,000 damage. Gets rid of that 1390 finally. Very dangerous player and a very dangerous tank too, with its spotting and its autoloader. And now Beach Daz is going back to where the enemy tanks were last spotted. He's done 4,500 damage just about, but he's not finished yet. Reloads normal premium ammunition and gets rid of that ISU 152 for his third kill, and brings his damage count up to 4,500. Now the Type 62 was last spotted up at A8, and it looks like that's where everyone's going to go, and that one of the artilleries gets killed by Beach Daz. Beach Daz team's artillery. Beach Daz gets rid of that Type 62 as he does a U-turn, and the rush is on to kill the last artillery. That last artillery looks like he just fired in the general direction of the T28 prototype, but it's going to be a race between the Bulldog and Beach Daz Bro as to who can get to that artillery first. The Bulldog slows right down, which lets Beach Daz Bro overtake him on the main straight, and he's heading straight to him. Will he drown? Of artillery players like drowning. He's got high explosive loaded. Fairly sure he's on full health, that enemy artillery, unless the FV or the M53 on Beach's side has taken some health off him. Can't see him there. Runs up the cliff, up the little hill, so he can spot both sides of that mound. And there he is. He's all the way back there, hiding. He's aiming at Beach Daz. Beach Daz puts a shot into him. The artillery fires and misses. And now it's the Super Pershing and the Bulldog are both going for him. And the damage counter has just ticked over 5,000 damage for Beach Daz Bro, which is a massive game. Bulldog puts a shot into him. Beach Daz finishes him off and picks up his 5th kill. For a massive result, as you look at the post-game battle results, a high caliber for doing more than 20% of the total hit points damage of the enemy vehicle and no team damage. These minor medals, but an ace tanker, the coveted ace tanker mastery badge for the Tier 8 German light tank, the RU-251 Sparpanzer. Bruiser, fighter and fire for effect. Looking at all those tanks that Beach Daz Bro spotted, shot, damaged or destroyed. And looking at the second page, 5,018 damage, 5 kills, 1,536 base experience. That's absolutely massive, and you can see the medals that he earned there. Over 5,000 damage, not much of it sniped. He only did 800 of that damage from a distance of more than 300 metres. That's more than 3 squares on the map. Damaged and destroyed 10 and 5 enemy tanks respectively, 800 spotting damage. And looking at these damage, 5,000 compared to the T-54 first prototype, a tier 8 Russian premium medium tank. Didn't have a bad game, 2,200. The FV artillery, 2,000 damage, and the Super Pershing, 1,600, as well as the other artillery, 1,600. But there was a few passengers in this game. You can see Beach Daz Bro looks like he's in a platoon. I actually sent him a message there saying, what's there? Looks like you're in a platoon, but there's nobody else there. He was in a platoon, but he had a game without the other guy, because the other guy had to do something else. Detailed report, he made a handy profit of nearly 30,000 credits, which is pretty good for considering he fired all that premium ammunition, but doing that massive amount of damage, 5,000 damage, that's absolutely enormous. I got an ace tanker in this tank, and that was with a bit over 2,000 damage, but it might have been with a little bit more spotting damage, I'm not sure. In any case, a great result from Beach Daz Bro, an absolute carry, 5,000 damage in a tier 8 light tank, that's massive. Thanks very much for the replay, Beach Daz Bro. Look forward to platooning with you and having some laughs again another day. That was a massive game. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you all next time.